Welcome back to Peril Pending, and today we're talking about Reform's housing policy. Don't forget, as always, you can find us over on Patreon. Link will be in the description. You'll get access to EMP, that's Even More Peril, where we talk about pretty much everything else that's perilous, that's going on in the world that didn't make it into the Today Show. It only costs £1. Right, now, on to today's story, and we are obviously talking about that incredibly ridiculous policy that Reform UK have put out. Policy, again, is in quotation marks because, as we all know, this is very likely just a distraction. It's a way for people to keep talking about Reform UK without mentioning all the investigations into its finances. But don't worry, because you lucky folk here on Peril Pending, it will get drilled into your head just like it's drilled into mine at the end of the episode. So we're going to have a look at a couple of videos from the announcement, I guess you would just call it, because, well, they make just some unusual, not really well thought out statements. We'll start with this one here from Richard Tice, where he just outright lies.
That's who I am. I'm a builder. And as Lee said, I have built thousands of homes in companies that I've run. And one of the reasons we're in crisis.
Yeah, so straight away, the multi-millionaire who has long family ties with the aristocrat family of high society known as Cottrell, he claims to be a builder. No, you're not. You... I doubt you even run a few businesses, to be perfectly honest with you. We all know CEOs don't do anything. Yeah. And the claim just gets weirder. He repeats the claim here with even more pizzazz to it. And then he seems to get cornered when somebody brings up single parents and same-sex marriages, which just goes to show they really didn't think this one through before announcing it.
My lifetime has been spent building homes in property. I've actually built more homes than the previous 24 housing ministers of this century combined. So we're going to get stuff done. We're going to build homes. And the simple fact is the housing system is broken. Yeah. The affordable housing system is broken, and Reform will fix it.
Does a married British couple get priority over a single British person?
Yes, that is the sort of order of preference. Well, because actually
they're doing the right thing.
Families are a good thing. Having British children, British-born children.
Just a quick reminder here. Richard Tice is not married to his current partner. Neither is Nigel Farage. But carry on, Tice. You tell us more about how marriage is the right thing.
Is a good thing. We need to encourage that. And it's a very natural, normal thing, has been over centuries for people to get together, to get married, have children, and contribute to their communities. And everything that we're doing is focused solely on that.
A single person might have children.
They might, but yeah, in an ideal world, it is well known that married couples, children in married couples, for example, will do really well at school, and we want to encourage that. Yeah, so I will. There's more to the clip. I just want to interject here. I do believe he's correct here. Children of married couples do better in school. Do you know what would make these children do worse in school? It's if their parents have just broken up and then Richard Tice comes along and kicks them out their home. I can't see how that would help the child in any way, Richard. You've not thought this through, have you? Of course, sometimes life doesn't work out. We understand that. But as an objective, that is surely preferable.
Where would a married same-sex couple fit in your priority list?
Well, there'll be an allocation list, but at the end of the day...
Are they doing the right thing or not doing the right thing?
He's panicking.
Day, Callum, what we're focused on is young British workers first, and same-sex couples, British couples working, they will have priority over those coming from overseas.
But they'd also have priority over other British people. That's what you've said.
There will be, within the British community of young workers, as long as we're building plenty of homes, then there will be sufficient room for them. Because if you add up the...
We'll just leave it there, because he just goes on to spout a bunch more nonsense. You'll notice he panicked quite a bit there when same-sex couples were brought up. It's because they hadn't thought about that. You also notice that no numbers were given about how exactly Reform UK are going to fund this, because it hasn't been costed. They're just throwing out numbers again. This is just like when they said they were going to cut 50 billion. They didn't say where that 50 billion was going to come from, just that they're going to cut it because they've done some math. And, well, math's ruddy hard, so just trust us. You don't need to see the equations. And we'll get on to more of the meat about this policy in just a second. The first thing I want to point out is obviously that ludicrous comment he made at the start, the claim that Richard Tice has built more homes than the previous 24 Home Secretaries combined over the last century, I believe it was. I don't know how he's managed to verify that, because there isn't actually a number to demonstrate like how many homes Richard Tice himself has built. The only claim I can find is this text here. Over 15 years, we acquired over 100 sites, secured planning permission, and built thousands of homes in London and southern England. And that comes from Richard Tice's website, the About section. So I do believe that over the last century, more than a few thousand homes have probably been built. I'd say more than a few 100,000 have probably been built. I'd probably estimate the number to be about in the million or close to it. If anybody has information that could help me clarify this, that would be fantastic, just for my own interest, to be honest with you. But I'm pretty sure it'll land somewhere in the millions. Also, Tice, you state here you've only built in London and southern England. You know that the United Kingdom's more than that, right? You just look like a clown. Of course, there was more on this policy announcement. This was a question from Sky, which focuses more on the marriage, and there's a nice little question in there about Nigel Farage, and, let's see if he responds to that.
Sky News. You say you're going to designate marriage as a core allocation factor in social housing. It's nicely bolded in your document here. So what we wanted to ask is, what's your message to single parents? Are they less worthy of help than a married couple with children, for example? And just if I may, we haven't seen Nigel Farage in a few days since his big win in Clapton. Is he sort of well rested? Are we going to see him quite soon?
So, look, with regard to marriage is a great thing. And
marriage is a great thing from the man who is not married. Carry on, Tice.
When people get married, we all hope that it's going to be for life. Sometimes it is, and sometimes it doesn't work out. But I don't think it's wrong to be ambitious and to promote marriage, and that's the right thing to do in our judgment. So that's why we've made that decision. But with regard to
Good morning.
He doesn't go on to answer the question about Nigel Farage, from what I can see. So basically, according to Reform UK, if they get into power, they're just going to magic up a bunch of new homes. And if you're young and married with kids, you go to the front of the line before anybody else. And I do believe that in order to do this, they'd have to take us out of the European Convention on Human Rights. Convenient that, isn't it, since they constantly try to drag us out of that. Ed Davey said it pretty well when he tweeted, "Today's Reform UK has announced they will deny social housing to single mothers and their children simply because they aren't married. They are a vindictive and dangerous party who only care about themselves." And that's true. I mean, try and argue against it. I'd love to hear it if you genuinely do disagree with Ed Davey there. But basically, if you're over 35, if you're not married, if you're disabled, you're a single parent or a divorced parent, you're a victim of domestic abuse, or if you're a migrant, this policy will discriminate against you in one way or another. Oh, sorry, I missed off there as well. Same sex. If you're a same-sex married couple, or even if you're married and you're same sex, you are also going to be discriminated against. This is completely unserious and completely unworkable. Firstly, 9 in 10 social homes already go to UK nationals, and most councils already have pretty tough rules in place to ensure that these homes go to those who need them. I personally think that Reform UK have announced this because they want everyone to still be talking about them. They don't want to fall into the pit of irrelevancy, but they don't want people to talk about the numerous and countless investigations into their finances. That could just be my tinfoil hat, but that's where I stand, because this policy, it's aimed at young people. That's not a demographic that Reform UK have historically sought to improve life for or appeal to in any way, shape or form. So while all of a sudden now they're like, oh yes, we have to look after the young. We have to look after the young, and especially the young who are married. Not once have they ever mentioned anything like that. In fact, they've actively gone against the interests of young people, with Nigel Farage historically saying Reform UK could cut minimum wage for young people. And he defends a U-turn on tax pledges as well. Here's a video of him. This is before he won Clacton with the Telegraph here, talking about how minimum wage is too high.
If I talk to the traders here in the constituency, running their own little businesses, there are loads of them. They're not taking on youngsters because minimum wage for under 18s has gone up by 28%. The peer behind me, I mean, he was most summers taking on up to a couple of hundred youngsters.
Yes.
Who'd come and work in the summer holes. That's down to 150 this year. Just one little example of what government's done. So make life easier for business, make life easier for wealth creation, remove some of those barriers would be at least a start.
Does that sound like somebody who's interested in helping the efforts of the young? Not to me. And then, of course, there's the topic of climate change. You can see here, this is from YouGov. I've filtered it by 18 to 24-year-olds. I think it was because 25 to 30 something goes over, like the 30 part goes over their threshold here. And as you can see, 80% of them believe that climate is changing as a result of human activity. And as we have seen in the past couple of weeks, Richard Tice, because Farage is in hiding, Richard Tice has been brushing off any concerns about climate change, saying, enjoy the hot weather, it's lovely, stop whinging, now we can make wine in the United Kingdom. They don't want to help young people. This is quite clearly a distraction. Then, of course, there's the overwhelming majority of young people who want to rejoin the EU. Last time I checked, Reform UK don't want to do that. They want us to get further away, I believe. And lastly, again, just from YouGov here, a little breakdown of people's intent, like people's voting intentions, which party appeals to them. And as you can see, it's overwhelmingly the Greens, with Labour coming in second for most people. And I believe that Reform UK just sort of beat out the Conservatives. We're not even going to talk about Restore Britain. There's no point. You can see they're all on 5 there. Reform UK don't appeal to young people. They never have. And now Reform UK with this policy honestly going to evict a family who work and pay taxes here just because they aren't British citizens? Or are they going to evict a single mother and her children if her partner's been kicked out for committing domestic abuse and now the household sees it's only got the one parent there? This is completely unfunded, by the way, as well. I know I mentioned that earlier, just to ring it home. It's completely unfunded. There isn't yet one policy from UK that has been fully funded or fully costed. It's all just imaginary maths. And this is all just another attempt by Reform UK to stoke hatred and distract from the numerous investigations into the party and its leaders' finances. Just a quick reminder of some of the best bits. The police are investigating donations from Tice's company to Reform UK. The police are investigating that £500,000 donation from Fiona Cottrell that was given to Reform UK. Farage is facing, of course, that very famous now standards probe into his 5 million crypto gift. And it was apparently clearly so suspicious that the Met Police got involved, and of course, as we all know, the National Crime Agency over concerns that it's relating to money laundering. So Reform can come up with all of these imaginary policies as much as they like, as hard as they like, as often as they like. I honestly wish the media would do more like this and just give a little roundup of what is really going on with that party every now and then, and maybe give some airtime to the Greens and the Lib Dems as well. But honestly, Reform, trying to appeal to young people after everything you've done and everything you still stand for? I mean, that's a heavy swing and a miss on that one. But those are just my thoughts on the matter. Please leave yours in the comment section down below, and I'll catch you next time while the peril's still pending.